Hello ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to be showing you how to use reCaptcha from Google. If you've come to this video, I'm going to go ahead and assume you know what a CAPTCHA is. We're going to be using this in PHP. So the first thing we're going to do is go to CAPTCHA's website. So google.com/reCaptcha/intro, where you can just Google reCaptcha. It's one of the first results that come up. When it brings you to the main page, just select the Get reCaptcha button. And then we're going to go ahead and register a new site. So I'm going to do learning reCaptcha as my description. I'm going to do reCaptcha version 2 and studokitsune.net. You'll put in whatever your website is. Accept the terms of service. I don't want the alerts because this is for a tutorial, and register. Okay, once you've registered, we get all this wonderful information down here, including a secret key. You should never let anybody know your secret key. Okay, so I've already set up a couple of little PHP pages. So the initial page, you just put your name and your age, and then you submit it. And when you do, it'll come to form check. Form check will just make sure that there was a value passed into the name field, and then it will call a function that gives you a message based on your age. So we want to put our CAPTCHA in here, and basically if they can't solve the CAPTCHA and prove that they're a human, we don't want to show them the message. So let's come back to our index.php page, and we're going to come into our form, and we just need to put the CAPTCHA just before the submit button. So I'll do T. Okay, so that's where I'm going to be placing it at. If I come back to the CAPTCHA website, we're going to take this second bit, the div. I'm going to copy it, and I'm just going to paste it into my form. Okay, and then we also need to take the script tag. We're going to copy it, come back to that same page. We're going to go into the head, and we're going to include that JavaScript API from Google for reCaptcha. Go ahead and save that. And if I'm not mistaken, the CAPTCHA should be showing now. So we'll go ahead and test that. Okay, so I can just select I'm not a robot, and then select all pictures with the train in this case. Now your user won't always have to solve image puzzles like that. So if they see them filling out their information, then it will, when they hit that checkbox, it'll automatically set the check mark as they're not a robot. Basically, it watches your cursor moving around the screen to see if it's behaving the way a human would behave. Okay, so now we need to add some logic in to show our CAPTCHA, or to check to see if our CAPTCHA succeeded. So we're going to go to the page that the form is submitting to, and we're going to create some variables. So first, we're going to create the private key variable. Okay, we're also getting this from the website. So if we come back to reCaptcha, and the secret key is what we're going for. So I'm just going to copy that. Okay, so there's our secret key. Blah, typing and stuff. Okay, so now we're going to use a function called file get content. Okay, and then we're going to set a URL in here, so HTTPS google.com reCaptcha API and site verify. Okay, and then we're going to add some variables into that. So secret is equal to, and then we're going to append on the private key variable. And response is equal to, and then we're going to append on a variable that was created by a Google script that we included there, and that is g-reCaptcha -response. Okay. Nope, no spaces, no spaces, don't space. Okay, and remote IP equals, and now we're going to use a server global, and it will be all caps remote _ADDR. Okay, and then I'm going to create another query. I'm just going to name this one, or another variable. I'm going to name it query, and then we're going to decode the JSON. So JSON decode. And then we want to decode the response variable that we created above. And then this is my chunk of code that was running before. So we only want this to run if they have passed the CAPTCHA. So we're going to do if query, that's the variable we created before that decodes the JSON, and then we are going to say success okay, and then just else we don't judge robots. Okay, so that's basically all you have to do. Let's go ahead and run it and make sure everything's working. So reset this. And I'm 29. So let's not check it first to see what happens. So submit form. Sorry, we don't judge robots. Now, I'm not a robot. Thank you, sir. Oh boy, okay. This is a problem that reCaptcha has sometimes, and the issue is with the Edge browser that I'm using. So if there's, oh, I'm supposed to be selecting vehicles. If what was I saying? Oh, if there's a lot of fields in your form and it can kind of judge your movement through the page, then in Edge it will still come up as the instant "I'm not a robot," and that works perfectly every time. The coming up as images, like you just saw there, where I was having to select which part of the image was vehicles and things like that, sometimes it just goes into an infinite load screen. So that's not ideal, of course. If you have the time, I would probably just write my own CAPTCHA. They're not too difficult, but Google has good algorithms that work better than anything that you're going to be able to come up with. The unfortunate part is it doesn't work well with the Edge browser, which is what we're kind of testing in right now. If you were to jump over to Google Chrome, I've yet to find a problem with it using Chrome. But as a web developer, you should be testing for all the major browsers that are used at that time. And I mean, let's be honest, if you get an older person getting a computer, they're going to go with what's on there at default. And if they're using Windows 10 or something like that, then it's going to be the Edge browser. Anyway, let's go ahead and submit this form. Hey there, Jeremy. Today is the first day of the rest of your life. Well, thank you, inspirational thing. But that's it, guys. That is all there is to implementing a reCAPTCHA into your site. It's very simple. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. Have a good day.